Hi, I'm Matt Jackson, captain of Norwich City Football Club. Welcome to our video of the 2000-2001 season. It's been a year of ups and downs and many changes, but throughout it all your support's been fantastic. You'll continue to back us next season when we look forward to reaching the Premiership. In the meantime, enjoy this video of the highlights of the past season.
The season started at a bright and sunny Barnsley, with goalkeeper Andy Marshall starting as he meant to go on, defying the opposition's strikers. But it certainly wasn't all sweetness and light at Oakwell. Carl Regan's two-footed challenge on Darryl Such, one of the more ugly tackles of a difficult season. Straight red card there for the Barnsley man, the only possible outcome on the day, but the sending off was to inspire the home side rather more than City. Craig Bellamy, in what was to be his final match in yellow and green, did have an opportunity to put the Canaries in the driving seat. Instead, though, a momentary lapse in defence allowed Lee Jones to get the better of the Dutchman Fernando de Velde and give the Yorkshire club all 3 points. The Canaries probably deserved better. They certainly seemed to have cause for complaint when Ewan Roberts set up his striking partner Gaetano Gialanza for what looked like a fully merited equaliser. However, the Swiss-Italians' exuberant celebrations were to be cut short by what seemed an unfortunate offside decision. No goals, no points on the opening day of the season. And disappointment for the fans days later when the Welsh international Craig Bellamy went to Premiership Coventry for around £6 million.
It's not a case of good business, it was a case of Craig wanting to go. I mean, I'd had several offers for him over the summer and we turned everyone down, and we'd have turned this one down too. But Craig wanted to play in the Premier League, and the rewards, as everyone knows, are enormous, and he decided it was the right move for him.
The sale of Bellamy meant that City had much to prove to their fans in the first home game of the season against Nottingham Forest. Once again, a game that promised much, but produced little.
Now Russell. It's a crispness about Norwich City's passing in here. Russell has a second chance, now maybe a third chance. It was a good try. Persistence very nearly paid off there for Darryl Russell. Ball was pinging around the edge of the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Final effort was a good one. Dervelt now with Llewellyn just ahead of him. Gialanza has made his move. And this time Gialanza is away from Helder. Roberts! And the flag is raised for offside. It won't count. Frustration in the face there of Ewan Roberts. Gialanza certainly wasn't offside, but he tried to be unselfish. He tried to play the ball through to Ewan Roberts, and the flag was raised. Nothing wrong there. That's when Roberts was offside. Norwich here with Llewellyn and Mulrine over the free kick. Dervelt maybe will attempt a shot at goal. And here's Fleming! A fantastic save there by Besant. Totally belies his 41 years. Forest static in defence there. Well-worked free kick by Norwich. Mulrine just teasing her in there towards Fleming, and that was a good save. Such. Now Mulrine, who was alert to get the ball through towards Russell! Another fine effort from Darryl Russell. Surging burst of pace forward. He caught that so well, that shot. Forward by Such. Roberts getting the better of the exchange there with Brennan. Here's Lee Marshall. The shot was deflected, and there was just a fingertip on it by Besant. Lee Marshall's drive just clipped Hjelde on the way through then, and that was another good save by Besson. Really had to stretch and get down quickly there to get a hand to it. Rogers able to get so much height and direction on the throw, and a terrific stop by Andy Marshall. It was a fine shot on the volleys by Bruton, but Marshall showing there why he's one of the best goalkeepers in the First Division. The long throw by Rogers again causing Norwich one or two problems, and it felt so kindly for Bruton at a clear side of goal, and that was a good stop. Here's Dervelt. He shot from a long way. That's a terrific effort by Dervelt, and well saved by Dave Besant. Wasn't much of a backlift, and he really let fly there. Wasn't easy for the goalkeeper. Could have taken a deflection on the way through.
Wendy, I'm sure you're delighted to keep a clean sheet, but I'm sure that you would have preferred 3 points, really. You had your chances today.
Yeah, definitely. We've had some very good chances, and I think Ewan Roberts is a bit disappointed with the offside. I don't think he felt he was offside. I'm sure it will tell, and footage to be seen. But yeah, disappointing to not win, to not get the 3 points. We've done more than enough to get the 3 points and win the game. But obviously pleased with the clean sheet.
Goalless in 2 games then, but 3 days later City fans were expecting much better against Second Division Bournemouth in the Worthington Cup. Didn't quite work out that way. Indeed, it needed Andy Marshall's best endeavours to keep the South Coast side at bay in the first round, first leg tie. Darryl Russell came closest to breaking the deadlock for Norwich. His shot here deflected onto the roof of the net. A fortunate break for the visitors, and one which left all to play for in the second leg at Dean Court a fortnight later. Before that, though, 2 games against sides who were to clinch automatic promotion to the Premiership. Away to Blackburn first of all, and the worst possible start, Marshall conceding a penalty when hauling down the Rovers striker Nathan Blake. David Dunn gave the Norwich keeper no chance of atonement from the penalty spot in what was to prove a thrilling match at Ewood Park. Blake himself powered in a header to make it 2-0 to a side who were always among the promotion favourites under the management of Graham Souness. But to their credit, City showed they weren't ready to throw in the towel. Previous season's top scorer Ewan Roberts capitalising on some good work from Chris Llewellyn, opening his and Norwich City's goal-scoring account for the season. It was to be the first of many in another good season for the gifted Welsh international striker. But there was little anyone could hope to do about Matt Jansen's cracking left-foot shot, which made it 3-1 to the Lancashire side. Once again, though, Norwich did hit back. Adrian Forbes' excellent run and shot, which eventually struck the Blackburn woodwork, should have produced a goal for City. And Gia Lanza's outstanding skills did produce one to pull it back to 3-2. It was a moment of sheer class which promised so much for a season which was later to be cruelly cut short by a serious knee injury. Control was impeccable, dummy on the keeper perfectly disguised, and that made the ultimate shot very simple indeed. Never sad though that such a great goal should produce no reward at all in terms of points. And with the Championship favourites Fulham the next visitors to Carrow Road, the accumulation of points was unlikely to get any easier, although City were once again to enjoy plenty of possession.
Norwich showing some adventure, and Roberts here has been able to set up Gialanza. Needed a save from Taylor. Gialanza there put under pressure by Andy Melville, but a gap suddenly emerged there in the Fulham back line. Gialanza. Now Whitley. Chance for Dervelt. It took a deflection. Norwich had the corner. Stinging shot from Fernando Dervelt, who's looking to open his account for Norwich City. Dutch defender encouraged to get forward and really let fly there. Bob Cooper, the Norwich City chairman, on the left there, together with Bryan Hamilton, who's Now moved from the touchline to the front row of the director's box. And a miscue there by Coleman, which has allowed Gio Lancer in. Russell also well forward. It's a great chance for Darryl Russell! Ball wouldn't quite sit up for him. But much more purposeful play from Norwich City. Melville's stumble allowed Gio Lancer to go for goal, and it was an intelligent run by Darryl Russell, who eluded his marker. Marshall's been able to get away from Davis. Here comes Llewellyn, a chance for Chris Llewellyn, and it's eluded Gio Lancer. He was caught in two minds. He saw yellow shirts arriving inside the 6-yard area. Roberts ready to make his move into the near post. A confusion there between goalkeeper and defender, and Gio Lancer's shot rattled wide off Coleman's shins. Here comes Davis, who's been full of running in midfield for Fulham. An agonising moment for both Andy Marshall, the Norwich City goalkeeper, and Louis Saha. Long by Dervell towards Roberts. It's a nice touchdown as well to McVeigh. Roberts once more. McVeigh! Flag was already up. McVeigh, though, there looking very busy and alert. Nice exchange with Ewan Roberts. Wouldn't have counted. Now Saha. He's away from Devard. Davis. Collins. Davis once more. Gormorta! Fulham in front. Less than 3 minutes remaining, and the substitute has made the vital breakthrough for the First Division leaders. Devard across to take the corner for Norwich City. Fleming, agonisingly close. It was Fleming's header. It was McVeigh who threw himself at the ball as it skidded across the 6-yard area.
For much of City's Worthington Cup tie second leg at Dean Court, it seemed they might be tumbling out at the very first hurdle, especially after Klaus Jorgensen's scrambled first-half goal for Bournemouth. Thankfully, Gio Lancer's deft touch in front of goal was to spare the blushers, following up his close control once again with a precise finish to level the match and the tie. A quick break saw the Canaries through to the second round. Lee Marshall's pass to Darryl Russell, probably not intended. Russell's stumble certainly wasn't, but he recovered superbly to bury the ball in the top of the net. 2-1 on the night, and on aggregate, Blackpool to come in the next round. Next up, though, 2 away matches in 4 days and an upturn in City's league fortunes. Andy Marshall again proving impossible to beat at the Crewe Alexandra. But luck still in pretty short supply too. Russell stabbing this effort against an upright as Norwich's attack moved up a gear. It was to end goalless, thanks largely to Andy Marshall's heroics in goal once again. Rodney Jack's shot saved in typically resolute style. Although 3 points were there for the taking as Adrian Forbes beat Efan Sodja late on, but his ultimate shot was a very disappointing one, not least for the young winger himself. That much-travelled striker Tony Cottee joined Norwich from Leicester, travelling by train from his Essex home because of the fuel crisis. And Tony Cottee's arrival was to coincide with the Canaries' first away league win of the season at Stockport County. City starting well and getting better after Lee Marshall's cross was converted by Jim Whitley's sparkling header into the top corner of the net. Whitley on loan from Manchester City with a goal for the family football scrapbook. Indeed, it proved to be quite a game for the hugely influential Lee Marshall. Indeed, it was his header off a post which rebounded onto a Stockport hand, and that resulted in a penalty which gave City a winning lead. Just the one man considered for the spot kick, of course, that Welsh international Ewan Roberts, whose emphatic strike and resulting celebration left no one in any doubt at all just how important a game the players felt this one was. The former Norwich City player pulled the score back to 2-1 for County. Midfielder David Smith steering the ball home through a ruck of players. Roberts certainly wasn't about to be denied. The striker latched on to Darren Kenter's left-wing cross to send in a diving header, which wrapped up a 3-1 winning scoreline for City. September turning into a pretty useful month for Bryan Hamilton's team. Even so, Norwich were still finding it difficult to score goals at Carrow Road, something the fans were hoping the veteran Tony Cottee would put right on his home debut against Crystal Palace on September the 16th.
Nidegard offering good support here for Norwich. Fanzi's clearance. Ball really pinging around that Palace penalty area. Such now for Norwich. And Russell can't quite get there. Laboured goalkeeping by Taylor. And Whitley. Norwich have to settle for the corner. Well, Jim Whitley's 25 now. He scored his first ever league goal for Norwich City on Tuesday in the 3-1 win at Stockport. But there was another golden chance there. Taylor just trying to reposition himself on the goal line. And Norwich maybe felt there they had penalty appeals. Roberts with the header wide. But Tony Cottee was leading the protest there about the way in which Jamie Pollock cleared that earlier effort from Jim Whitley. This is the header from Roberts, which went wide. Cottee. Now Lee Marshall. Roberts has made the diagonal run in behind Ruddock, and Ruddock has slipped. There's a chance here for Ewan Roberts. Cottee! Glorious chance. He really should have opened his Norwich City account there. Roberts always seemed second best, but Ruddock slipped. And there the goal was wide open for Tony Cottee. Russell now for Norwich. Here's Roberts. And a break on for Lee Marshall. Cottee tried to get in behind Fanzi. And the defender has stumbled. Chance here for Cottee to reassess the situation and provide Roberts with the opening. Ewan Roberts sliding in there, almost making contact. Tony Cottee had got away from Fanzi, and Roberts not too far away from applying the finish. And Mackenzie's away from Such. A deep cross in, which was well dealt with by Craig Fleming. Black now. And that's a testing cross. Mackenzie's put the ball in the net, but the ball had already gone out of play. Palace protesting. Mackenzie felt that he'd done enough there to get on the score sheet, but Uriah Rennie just making the point that the ball had gone out of play before it was returned. It's finished goalless again here at Carrow Road.
Goalless it may have been, but the Palace defender Neil Ruddock clearly felt the match official had taken the letter of the law just a little too far. 3 days later, it was back to Worthington Cup match action, and a chance for another former Leicester City star, Steve Walsh, to join his ex-teammate Cottee in the Canary lineup. It was to prove to be an action-packed match with 6 goals and a missed penalty.
Nidegard, first time ball towards Roberts, can he turn? And has he gone down? The referee's given a penalty. Ewan Roberts trying to wriggle away from the defender. He eventually did, but he was brought down as well. Got So now a chance for Ewan Roberts to add to his account this season. 3 goals so far. And he's here against Phil Barnes. And no problem. Ewan Roberts scores Norwich City's first goal at Carrow Road so far this season. His 4th goal of the season. And he was able to send Phil Barnes the wrong way. Confident spot kick. And the Welsh international celebrates. The goal coming on 21 minutes. And Norwich have the lead. The whistle's gone and they seem to stop for a moment. Ormerod trying to get the better of Walsh. Good break forward here. A chance to shoot. And a chance for Murphy. It's equalised. Blackpool's top scorer has scored again. 26 minutes gone and it's 1-1. The ball fed through. It was a strong run and shot from Steve Bushell, and the rebound falling to John Murphy, who was able to finish into the far corner. But Norwich now trying to dispute possession again. Marshall tries a long ranger. Nedergaard, 3 to aim for in the penalty area. One of them's Roberts, across the face of the goal, easy for Marshall. And within a minute and a half, Norwich regain their lead. And that was an excellent cross from Nedergaard on this near side of the field, and Marshall enjoying that moment. Deep cross, header from Roberts across the face of the goal, and Lee Marshall was able to finish it off just a yard away. Norwich have the lead again, and Lee Marshall celebrates. Now a chance for Norwich to break here. Good switch from Roberts. Nedergaard. McGovern's made the overlapping run. Good ball forward from Nedergaard to Marshall, and a chance for Roberts. Can he get there first before Barnes? Doesn't need to, because Tony Cottee has scored his first goal for Norwich City. The ball played forward from Nedergaard, who's had a hand in all 3 goals so far. Controlled by Marshall, lobbed it forward. Roberts tried to get there first, got his foot to it, but it was completed. The finish completed by Tony Cottee, who once again had a simple tap-in. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. It's 3-1 to Norwich now, and Tony Cottee opens his account for the Canaries. So Ewan Roberts scored 1, made 2. Blackpool have a free kick though, a foul by Russell on Welland. Now then, Simpson trying to motion some players forward. Saying towards Murphy. Oh, it's in! It's in anyway. The finishing touch has been put in from Brett Ormerod, but I think the goal has been credited to Murphy. Free kick taken by Simpson, the header from Murphy, off the post, that's got to be in. Here's Welland. Bushell. Oh, Welland has got space. And that's a teasing cross. Header by Murphy, it's there! John Murphy again. And the defending on the Norwich left, a bit slack to be desired. Great cross by Welland, and Murphy was up there again, and Marshall given no chance at all. Welland just a yard away from the dead ball line, and that's a fine header. He had 2 players around him, but none of them close enough, and it's 3-3 here. Pace from Forbes. Oh, he's pulled it back for Russell. and he's given a penalty. And Lee Collins can't believe it. Forbes had got behind Jackson, and Collins' challenge, well, he didn't get anything of the ball, and that's a penalty. And Collins has got to be careful because he's been booked, so has Wellens, as they have a few words to say to the referee. So we're in injury time at the end of the game here, and Ewan Roberts, who scored the first goal of the game from the penalty spot, can give Norwich a very, very valuable advantage. Roberts, oh, he's hit the crossbar! A golden opportunity to give Norwich an advantage ahead of a second leg, and he's hit the woodwork.
After that exciting, if ultimately disappointing match, came possibly City's worst away performance of the season. Molineux not always a happy hunting ground for the Canaries, and from the moment Adam Pradlock shot past Andy Marshall, it obviously wasn't going to be their day. A left-wing corner was headed goalwards by Tony Dinning and deflected into the City net off defender Craig Fleming. And aerial power was again their undoing when a cross from the right was met this time with a powerful header from Carl Robinson. 3-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and by now their tails were well and truly up. Michael Branch's fourth goal for the Midlanders, adequately reflecting their superiority on the day, one to forget as speedily as possible. Next to a couple of ex-Canaries remembered with great affection, Steve Bruce and John Dean, who brought their Huddersfield team to Carrow Road for the final game of September.
Very good work by Lee Marshall. Terrific control and a good pass to pick out Russell. Still with Russell. Agonisingly close for Darrell Russell, who's still searching for his first league goal of the season. Bright work initially by Lee Marshall. And a gap emerged there for Darrell Russell. That was inches wide. Here's Gore. Still with Gore. Now Gallen. Magnificent save by Andy Marshall. It was straight at the goalkeeper, but it was hit with great venom. Forward by Fleming. Roberts did well under pressure there from Luchetti, but unfortunately for Norwich, the final pass was a poor one. Here's Smith. Irons. Smith again. And now Gallen. Huddersfield have taken the lead. Kevin Gallen makes the vital breakthrough. Good work by Brady. Gialanza. Terrific turn by Gialanza. Now Llewellyn. Gialanza again. Straight at the goalkeeper. It was a good chance that for Gaetano Gialanza. Huddersfield here with 10 behind the ball. Aimed in towards Roberts. And Gialanza! A goal from nothing for Gaetano Gialanza. What a huge lift that has given Norwich now. The delight obvious for all to see. Gaetano Gialanza, who's been overlooked by Bryan Hamilton, the manager, since the arrival of Tony Cottee, making the most of a half chance inside that Huddersfield penalty area. Scramble there as Roberts was first to the ball under a bit of pressure there from Luchetti. And that was a good turn by Gialanza. Forward by Dermot. Walsh making his presence felt in what for him is unfamiliar territory. Here's Such. Now Roberts. Wasn't a bad header by Ewan Roberts, who's got a terrific record against Huddersfield Town here at Carrow Road.
I thought the players responded really good. I was very pleased with them today. I thought their commitment was total. They worked really hard. They did create the chances. And I thought to show character and come back the way they did all credit to them.
And Gio Lancer, when he scored the goal, you could tell from his reaction, A, he was delighted to be on the pitch, and B, he was delighted to get the goal.
Yeah, I was pleased as well. I've got to say, it's nice to get your first goal. I mean, we've obviously been a bit short in goals at home, well, away as well. But we are creating the chances, and the disappointing part is we're not putting them away. So I'm pleased for Gaetano, and I'm pleased for us.
City might have expected a rough ride in their Worthington Cup second leg match at Blackpool. Instead, Darryl Russell's early goal, scored after a rebound from the keeper, sparked the season's biggest victory. Geerlanzer converted at the far post here after a right-wing free kick had eluded the home defenders. His form continuing to give great hope for the future. And he and Ewan Roberts, whose diving header was to make it 3-0, were forming quite a formidable attacking partnership. Indeed, both were to get on the score sheet once again. Roberts taking full advantage of Lee Marshall's cross following an impressive right-wing build-up to move City into a 4-0 lead.
4 goals. Second for Ewan Roberts. 4-0 to Norwich. Definitely game on.
While another of those moments of supreme touch in front of goal and clinical finishing from Geerlanzer completed an impressive 5-0 victory on the night and a comprehensive 8-3 aggregate win. Even Andy Marshall had to get in on the act, making a fine late save from the penalty spot. That success at Blackpool was to inspire another mini-revival, as promotion-chasing West Bromwich Albion found to their cost in mid-October.
McInnes on his outside is Little. McInnes shoots instead, and it's well held by Andy Marshall. It was at a nice height for the Norwich goalkeeper, but well struck nevertheless by the West Bromwich Albion captain. De Veld. Oh, easily got past Butler. This is De Veld, and a lovely finish as well. It's the Dutchman's first goal for Norwich City. And after 10 minutes at the Hawthorns, the visitors take the lead. Marvellous support play from the back, from the Dutch fullback. And he easily got past Tony Butler before slotting the ball under Brian Jensen. Norwich have the lead. Jason Roberts finds Clement. What a goal! What a magnificent strike and a wonderful equaliser from Neil Clement. Fleming's free kick. Roberts being held by Butler, still won the header. Russell has found Nedergaard. The Dane was forced wide by Clement. Van Vleuk's clearance will only fall to Mulrine. Little touch from Roberts, and Llewellyn has scored! Norwich regain the lead. Not the greatest piece of defending you'll ever see from a West Bromwich Albion point of view. Nedergaard allowed to get the ball in, the touch from Roberts. Fortunate or otherwise, it's found its way to Llewellyn. And Chris Llewellyn's first goal of the season makes it West Bromwich Albion 1, Norwich City 2. You can't take your eyes off this for a second. Things going on all over the pitch. Flicked away by Such. No, the referee seems to me it's a penalty. Darryl Such looked to flick the ball away as the cross came in. The referee took a look, blew his whistle, pointed to the spot. It's a West Bromwich Albion penalty. He's indicating that there was a push. Andy Marshall in the Norwich goal. Lee Hughes to strike for West Bromwich Albion, and he makes no mistake at all. Perfectly into the corner. West Bromwich Albion 2, Norwich City 2. Shordeo, lovely touch back towards Fox. Little's cross. This is Taylor, another chance! Great save, Marshall. Fox is the single-man wall. Marshall puts it in, too deep for Fleming. Mackay is there, might fall for Kenton! And Norwich have the lead for the third time in the afternoon. Darren Kenton poking the ball home. His first goal of the season, West Bromwich Albion 2, Norwich City 3.
Fantastic result, great for the lads, great for the morale of the lads. And especially the way we won the game. It was a very tough game, going up to West Brom playing against Gary Megson. and he obviously had the players fired up for the game, and it was a great result to come away and nick the game in the dying minutes.
Against the eventual playoff finalists Preston North End at Deepdale, things didn't work out quite so well. Gielanza thought he'd given City the lead, but one of countless marginal offside decisions in the early part of the season ruled this effort out. It was a costly decision because a rare error in midfield from Lee Marshall ended in what proved to be the winning goal for the Lancashire outfit. Bjarke Gunnar-Larsson it was here, sweeping home to give North End victory by the only goal of the match. A chance to make up for that defeat came 4 days later at home to Sheffield United, a match which was to provide a win, but also a sickening injury blow for City.
Mackay forward inside the Sheffield United 6-yard area. Fleming ready to make his move. And the header over the top was from Malky Mackay. Malky Mackay, who was Bruce Rioch's first signing for Norwich City. He's had precious few opportunities to start games, but he's always an effective target when Norwich gets set pieces, corners or free kicks. Mulrine now for Norwich. Here's Gielanza, nice turn by Gielanza. Solid defending though by Murphy. And here's Roberts. Couldn't quite get there. Terrific ball in by Llewellyn. Norwich making full use of the full width of the pitch. Gielanza there with a tidy turn. Murphy's clearance only as far as Llewellyn. And Roberts getting in behind Sanford there. An encouraging opening for Norwich though. Bryan Hamilton, the Norwich City manager, who was encouraged by the way his side performed when they won 3-2 at West Bromwich Albion last Saturday. Less keen when they lost 1-0 at Preston on Tuesday evening. This is terrific work by Devlin. Terrific cross too, and a splendid opening goal for Sheffield United. It's Kelly who's got it. Trying to add a bit of urgency to their play, but they've been guilty of giving the ball away far too easily. There's a chance here for Bent. Kelly in the penalty area, Brown arriving. Here's Brown. Terrific effort. What a magnificent goal by Michael Brown. As good a finish as you'll see anywhere. Fleming with the free kick. Roberts did well. Here's Mulrine. Great goal by Phil Mulrine. After a troubled year, Phil Mulrine is now back to his best. Double fracture of his right leg in August last year. He's only just returned to full fitness, but he's full of confidence now and full of determination. Great work by Roberts, and Mulrine just skipping through to apply a good finish. Norwich now back in this. Mulrine's first goal of the season, and now Norwich have got some hope. And that's a terrific effort. Gielanza giving Tracy a scare. The goalkeeper thought that there was no chance of Gielanza getting anywhere near the target from there. Tight to Lee Sanford, but he just created enough room for himself to hook the ball acrobatically over his shoulder. It's been a promising season for Gaetano Gielanza. Now Lee Marshall. Such has got in behind Brown. That's not a bad cross. Tracy with a far from convincing punch, and Kenton. There's a good chance that for Darren Kenton, and he knows he should have perhaps done better in there. Now Dervelt. It's a terrific pass to Ewan Roberts, and the flag has been raised for offside. It won't count. And the anger and the frustration obvious. It was a fine through ball by Fernando Dervelt, pace and precision, but Ewan Roberts was in the offside position. he was in no doubt. Determined play by Giolanza to get the better of the exchange with Quinn. And here's Roberts. Magnificent goal by Ewan Roberts. Set up by his partner up front, Gaetano Giolanza. From 2-0 down, it's back to 2-2. Giolanza, one of the big pluses this season for Norwich City, had the opportunity to take one look up, and that was a very clever header indeed by Ewan Roberts. Quinn just brushed aside by Giolanza, and it begged Roberts to score from there, and Norwich are suddenly back in this. Giolanza. And he's down and hurt. Well, he was caught during the first half, and there's definitely need of attention here for Gaetano Giolanza. Sympathetic applause for Gaetano Giolanza. Tony Cottee is his replacement, 35 now, Cottee. Roberts. Now Kenton. Roberts again, terrific approach play this by Norwich City, and Tony Cottee has put Norwich City ahead. There were those who questioned why Bryan Hamilton, the manager, had signed Tony Cottee at the age of 35, and they were given their answer there. Magnificent approach play by Norwich, good running by Roberts, and a first-time finish by Tony Cottee, which was right out of the top drawer. From 2-0 down to now 3-2 in front, and just over an hour gone. Llewellyn. Kenton. Now Mulrine. Here's Roberts, who's been very effective up front for Norwich. Roberts again. Chance here for Llewellyn. Another magnificent goal. It gets better and better for Norwich City. Once more, it's Ewan Roberts who's the provider. The two Welshmen combining well. Llewellyn making the most of the return pass there from Ewan Roberts, and that was a clever finish. It wasn't easy for him. Tracy had come out quickly, the goalkeeper, to try and narrow the angle.
It's great confidence for the lads, you know, we're 2-0 down, and it shows great character coming back from 2-0 and even pushing on to 4-2, you know. I think the fourth goal was a great goal, we passed the ball great, and just some days that happens, you know, everything clicks together and you play well, so hopefully we can just carry that on until Tuesday now.
In fact, Tuesday proved to be a major disappointment. With Giolanza ruled out for the rest of the season with cruciate knee ligament damage, Cottee disappointed in front of goal. After shooting wide when well placed, he also shot straight at the Portsmouth keeper when clean through. Not the kind of finishing we'd come to expect from the former West Ham and Everton man. There was a rare appearance too for Paul Dalglish. His shot from an acute angle was also to be a little too close to the goalkeeper. City had to settle then for a goalless draw. Up at Burnley, the flags were flying proudly. Sadly, the events at ground level proved to be something of a damp squib. Bryan Hamilton and Stan Tennant disappointed to see the match called off because of a waterlogged pitch. But there were no problems at all with the weather 4 days later at Pride Park, where the Canaries faced the Premiership side Derby County in their third round Worthington Cup tie. No second leg chance this time, a one-off match to decide the winners. Sadly, it was pretty much one-way traffic.
And there's a chance here for Derby. And a golden opening goal. It's Rory Delap. A giveaway by Norwich City. A shake of the head from Andy Marshall. An accusing look too. Penalty, had to be. Never any doubting, Clive Wilkes is behind the referee. King Clancy with another blistering run, and here it's all going horribly wrong for Norwich City. It's Burley against Andy Marshall. 2-0 Derby County. Now Johnson. Delap arriving. Kenton's clearance. Only as far as King Clancy. Powell again. Delap. And it's spun straight through Andy Marshall's hands to present Malcolm Christie with a chance to score his first goal in 8 games. It's becoming one big nightmare for Norwich City.
We're getting punished for our mistakes, and we keep saying to the boys, you know, we've got to start bright and try and have that discipline about you. It's a mental strength as well as everything else, to try and avoid making those simple mistakes. And we're learning a very difficult lesson, and we're being punished for it.
Those defensive lapses were to be ironed out as the lone defender Danny Granville from Manchester City and the Charlton midfielder Scott Parker joined the Division 1 fight and were to inspire 2 successive home victories for the Canaries.
Forward by Such, nice turn by Lee Marshall, 2 people in the penalty area, and Murphy had to palm it away. It's a chance for Llewellyn, and it's well saved by Murphy. He recovered superbly to deny Llewellyn. Great cross by Marshall. Murphy came out, was stranded. Llewellyn with the shot, and Murphy did ever so well to recover. Roberts, Parker. Strong run by Parker. He's got Forbes outside him, still going. And that's an attempted chip. Great effort by Scott Parker, who's only just turned 20. It's gone in from Ewan Roberts. A very, very quick free kick taken, and Ewan Roberts managed to get himself away and apply the finishing touch. So the free kick, as the referee was trying to sort out where the free kick should be taken, it was quickly taken by Fillmore Ryan. On the left-hand side, Granville with a low pass and played in off the post first time by Ewan Roberts and got the rebound. And so Norwich take the lead just 7 minutes into the second half, and Ewan Roberts just looks to the heavens and says, thank goodness for that. Granville now as Tranmere give the ball away again. Parker, Llewellyn, lovely ball, Parker. Chance to continue his run, he's done very well indeed! Great effort by the Londoner, Parker. Dummy by Granville, gets a return from Mulrine, across the face of goal! Superb skills on that left-hand side between Mulrine and Granville.
Me and Phil were up against 3 players in there. They played a 5 across the middle, so it was pretty tough for us. But, you know, I thought we worked very hard. At times, they didn't really cause us no problem at all, and we passed it around very, very comfortably. And maybe 1-0 was a maybe we could have gone more on, you know.
Yeah, we've got to keep this run going now. I mean, in the league, although Derby was a disappointing performance, in the league I think we picked up just recently. We've got a game Tuesday night, a very tough game. Birmingham's a very, very tough game. And then we go, I think it's Sheffield on Saturday, so we've got a busy week, but games that we're quite capable of winning.
Craig Fleming's words proved prophetic against the Birmingham City side, who were to later clinch a playoff place for a third successive season and reach a Worthington Cup final against Liverpool, but played second fiddle to the Canaries.
And Marshall helps it back in, and Forbes is close in! And can't find the target. Forbes for Norwich. That's blocked though by Michael Johnson. Eden trying to get in there. Eden might get a second chance, but it's brought away by Mackay, and there's a mistake, and Adebola's driven it straight to the legs of Andy Marshall. Good ball aimed towards Mulrine, who was clattered by Darren Pearce. Norwich win it back though. Here's Forbes, and that's a decent cross. Pearce again with the clearance. Forbes again. And away before Mulrine could get there, but here's Granville. There's a player down inside the penalty area. It's aimed towards Mulrine again. Forbes! Fantastic strike! The goal has been given. And the fans in the Barclays end celebrate. The ball cleared away there by Granger, and the volley came steaming in. It was Granville who stood it up towards the far side. It was headed away by Granger, but Forbes, at an angle, volleyed into the top corner. Short 1-2 Mulrine. Towards the near post, and Roberts is there, and Forbes has scored! Although, the referee has decided it was handball. So the corner quickly taken. Mulrine had played it inside the penalty area. It was dummied by Roberts, and it appeared to be a handball by Forbes. Green and yellow shirt streaming forward, and it's aimed towards Llewellyn. Cushion header, and finished by Russell. But again, the linesman's flag has gone up on this near side of the field, and it's ruled out for offside. Russell, and now Marshall. Oh, the ball bounces off his ankle. Granger releasing Horsfield. Faced by Such. Granger may have taken a deflection. Johnson, a chance for Hughes! Great save by Marshall! Andy Marshall has kept the scoreline intact. Brilliant save by the former England under-21 keeper.
It was just a very close reaction save, and fortunately I flung a hand out and it's obviously hit my hand, and the ball's gone away. So fortunate for us, but would have been really disappointed if we'd have obviously lost the game.
Your goal was something special, though.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I still up to now I can't believe it actually went in. It was just a case of getting the ball in the box really for Ewan and Lee, and it managed to break out to me after one of the Birmingham defenders got a slight flick on. I just wanted to strike it well. Lucky enough for me, it ended up in the top corner.
Sadly, there were not to be too many of those over the next 5 matches, and as Ewan Roberts was off target at Sheffield Wednesday, he had little or no idea just how disastrous a spell they were entering. Once again, Dame Fortune smiled on the opposition rather than on Norwich, Chris Llewellyn conceding a penalty against Wednesday, which he found hard to comprehend, and which on replay looked harsh to say the least on the City youngster. Andy Hinchcliffe swept home from the spot, and despite what was on occasions an heroic effort, City were to be the losers, despite getting back on level terms when Lee Marshall launched a ferocious shot against the Sheffield Wednesday crossbar, and Scott Parker was on hand to steer home the rebound, 1-1. The unlucky Llewellyn then saw 2 penalty claims rejected. Was it handball here? Possibly a foul? The referee said neither. And when Llewellyn crossed for Ewan Roberts, only to see his Welsh colleague's header touched over by Kevin Pressman, City knew it wasn't going to be their day. Wednesday, at this stage of the season in a perilous position near the foot of the table, reclaimed the lead through Tony Crane's header, and then went 3-1 up through one of the strikes of the season from De Piedi. Absolutely nothing at all that could be done about that one. Lee Marshall restored some sanity to the scoreline by stabbing home in the latter stages, but a 3-2 defeat was short on justice for the Canaries. So City remained confident they could bounce back, but instead they were about to start a run of just 1 goal in 4 more defeats, the next at home to Bolton.
And that's a decent cross, and Gardner has been denied by Marshall. A brilliant save. And Norwich have got out of jail there. And that's a deep cross. Ricketts! Oh my goodness! Cleared off the line. And Marshall this time was beaten. It was Hansen's cross. And Ricketts, all the time in the world. And Daryl Such was the man who took that one off the line. Free kick then to Bolton, who are throwing a few players forward. That same towards Ricketts, who's got his head towards this one and scores! Looping free kick, looping header. Ricketts scores for his 5th goal in 5 games and his 12th of the season. 6 Bolton shirts inside the penalty area. One of them is Gudni Bergson! And the Icelandic international has made it 2-0 to Bolton.
City's penalty jinx was to resurface 3 days later at Turf Moor, where a handball decision against Danny Granville gave the high-flying Burnley side a chance to take an early lead. Although for once, justice was about to be done, because Andy Payton's spot kick was brilliantly saved low to his left by Andy Marshall. It wasn't such a good day, though, for City's other Marshall, as Adrian Forbes set him up with an absolute sitter, Lee Marshall fluffing one of the misses of the season. And in the second half, City were punished for that missed opportunity in the first half. A cross from the right, emphatically headed home by Payton. Big relief for him that, following that first half penalty miss. And Burnley completed a 2-0 win when the ex-Luton captain Steve Davis headed home from the corner. City were beginning a dangerous slide down the league table. Next up, a home match to come against Wimbledon. Definitely not the side you want to face when you're staring trouble full in the face.
Norwich can go forward with Granville. 2 in the penalty area, decides to go for goal. And it was well saved by Kelvin Davis. Now then, Roberts inside the penalty area. He's down in the penalty area, there's a penalty. And Kelvin Davis thought that was a harsh decision, but the referee, Mr. Messias, had no hesitation in pointing to the spots, and so Fillmore Ryan, who scored only 1 goal so far this season, has a chance to give Norwich City the lead here in the 20th minute. Oh, he's saved! A great opportunity for Norwich to take the lead, but it wasn't the best struck penalty by Mulrine, and Davis guessed the right way. By Gale, Hartson does well to keep his feet and fires a shot in and scores! Llewellyn, Parker, Moorine, Mackay, same towards Forbes. Kimball's header though goes straight to the Norwich number 17. Roberts, oh it's there! Ewan Roberts pulls Norwich City level. His 9th goal of the season, and he certainly enjoyed that one. And he really gives the supporters something to cheer about now. The cross from Forbes, beautifully delivered, and he did well, did Ewan Roberts, because he was under pressure from Williams and managed to steer his header past Kelvin Davis's near post. May have flicked the post on its way in, but Ewan Roberts has equalised. Now, Llewellyn trying to release Forbes. Another delightful cross, and Roberts has hit the post and it's gone in! But the referee has disallowed it. He's disallowed it. It may have been handball. He's suggesting that the ball may have been punched into the back of the net. But it was a great build-up. It was Llewellyn who laid it off for Forbes. Great cross. It may have come off Trent Anderson first time before Roberts forced the ball home, but the referee deciding that it came off the hand of Ewan Roberts. Long ball though will release Danny Granville. That's a low cross, and now a chance for Forbes! Oh, what a save by Davis! Hartson now for Wimbledon. Threaded forward to Gale. Pull back. Anderson was chasing that one. It may fall for Francis. Francis shot! What a goal! Roberts to Forbes for Norwich. On the edge of the box, challenge coming in from Ardley, but Forbes does well!
Yeah, it's just unfortunate we didn't go 2-1 up just before they'd scored, but you know, we're just having a rubber to green at the moment. Phil Moran's penalty in the first half saved. You'd think, you know, the luck's changed, we turned the corner, but you know, that doesn't go in. But I think, all in all, I think we battled well today. I think we outplayed Wimbledon, and I think, to be perfectly honest, we were robbed in the end.
Robbed they may have been, but it was successive defeat number 4, and when a Mihalis Panopoulos volley put Portsmouth ahead at Fratton Park on December the 2nd, it was to spark another managerial change for City. Top scorer Ewan Roberts once again did his best to rescue the situation, but he saw his header touched over the Pompey crossbar. And City's fate was sealed by an absolute screamer of a left-foot shot from Nigel Worthington, a goal worthy of winning any game, and one from which City could not recover, despite the very best efforts of their debut maker Alex Notman following his move from Manchester United. It was Bryan Hamilton's last match in charge. He resigned just 2 days later. Nigel Worthington was the man to take over the reins, becoming City's third manager in the space of 2 seasons. He was told he had the full backing of the board.
We have a very good man, and I have been approached already this season by other clubs to take him away from us, so he's well thought of. But now he has his chance, and he's got to grasp it and show us that he's the right man for the job.
As so often happens under these circumstances, the managerial change had an immediate impact in the next home match against Gillingham, as the Norwich fans gave a warm welcome to both the new striker Alex Notman, who was making his home debut in front of an enthusiastic and expectant crowd, and to the former assistant manager brought in by Bryan Hamilton and now the caretaker boss Nigel Worthington. He was later to be given a 2.5-year contract by the Canaries and was about to get off to a winning start.
Here's De Blassy, swung in towards Roberts, and the punch clear isn't a convincing one. Norwich have a chance to attack now with Ewan Roberts. Here's Notman, brilliant opening for Notman, and Bartram just makes the save. Notman creating the angle for Lee Marshall. Kenton has made good forward progress here for Norwich, and here is Darren Kenton. He's got 4-5 to aim at now inside that Gillingham penalty area, and Llewellyn has got the breakthrough. Terrific headed goal by Chris Llewellyn. At long last, Norwich able to find some fluency. Notman it was who found Kenton, and Kenton in turn able to pick out Chris Llewellyn, who charged in unmarked. Header may well have taken a deflection as Bartram shaped to make the save. It did take a deflection, but it doesn't matter to Norwich. They're in front, and Chris Llewellyn will take all the credit.
It was a much-needed change of fortune for City, but problems were far from over as they discovered at Grimsby, where the usually ultra-reliable Craig Fleming's disastrous own goal signalled a 6th successive away defeat. In fact, it wasn't a day for Norwich defenders, with skipper Matt Jackson being hustled off the ball by Darryl Clare for Grimsby's 2nd. The 2-0 defeat, one about which City could have few complaints. The defence did look more secure in the following week's home game with Barnsley, but with Malky Mackay's early shot tipped over the bar, goals were equally hard to come by as City underwent a lean spell in front of goal. Mind you, there were plenty of chances. Lee Marshall headed against the crossbar. Alex Notman put his shot into the side netting. Darryl Russell saw his effort well saved. Chris Llewellyn was just a shade too high with City's next effort. Russell again out of luck just moments later. And finally, Russell went completely clear of the Barnsley defence. The keeper just got to it first, and the Yorkshire side were eventually to scramble the ball clear. It could have been 6 for City. Instead, it was 0-0. After the briefest of Christmas celebrations, Norwich were back in action at Loftus Road on Boxing Day and produced a seasonal cracker despite falling behind to Clark Carlisle's header against Queen's Park Rangers. Zima Abbey had joined the Canary Corps from Cambridge United, and it was his cross which allowed Ewan Roberts to hit in a timely equaliser in a spirited City performance. Assistance of the former Ipswich and Arsenal striker Chris Kiromia on the right of the Norwich penalty area gave Stuart Wardley the chance to nudge the Londoners back in front. But the second half belonged to City. This was surely one of the moves of the season from the Canaries. Ultimately finished by Lee Marshall, the man who had earlier started the neat passing move back in his own half. 2-2. And City ended their dismal away run with a winning goal set up by Russell and converted by Roberts for his second goal of the game. City 3-2 winners. A hard-fought goalless draw at Nottingham Forest in their last match of the year 2000 said much about the newfound steel under Nigel Worthington. Malky Mackay twice blocking goal-bound efforts as he became one of the success stories of the second half of Norwich City's roller-coaster season. Blackburn were the visitors to Carrow Road on New Year's Day. City completed an unbeaten holiday programme in a match which was to clinch the full-time management position for Nigel Worthington.
It's a poor clearance by Llewellyn. Here's Bent, he's got Janssen ahead of him, still with Bent, terrific run from Bent. What good save by Andy Marshall, and another brilliant save to get that effort from McAteer away. Fantastic recovery by Andy Marshall, who's had a terrific season for Norwich. Good running by Bent, unconventional save first off there by the Norwich goalkeeper, but he did so well to clear from McAteer. Sooners who'd written off automatic promotion back in October, but Blackburn have had a fantastic run. They've lost just one of their last 15 games. Shot took a deflection off Mark Hughes. On by Abbey, and miscue there by Forbes, and a scrambled save by Filan from Darryl Russell. Well, the flag raised for offside eventually, but a great chance for Norwich. A complete miscue that by Forbes. And there it was, Kutu was in the offside position. Bjornaby. And he's been dispossessed by Adrian Forbes. Abbey in support, still with Forbes, still with Forbes. Fantastic goal by Adrian Forbes. What a wonderful goal that was for Adrian Forbes. Adrian Forbes surprisingly included in the Norwich starting lineup ahead of Phil Mulrine. Bjornaby slip, and Forbes there with both pace and determination. He bustled aside from Taylor, and that was a very good finish indeed. Taylor doing his best to hold him up, but he was committed, and once he dived in, he was beaten. A magnificent strike by Adrian Forbes. Norwich City ahead. Cornelia Smith alongside Craig Brown, the Scotland manager, celebrating New Year in Norfolk. Hughes did well there. Solid challenge by Darryl Russell. And now Mark Hughes is in big trouble here. He's already been cautioned, and 2 yellows equals red. Sensational conclusion to the first half, just in stoppage time. And Mark Hughes is dismissed. And now he's taking issue with 1 or 2 of the Norwich supporters in the crowd there. He's been ushered towards the tunnel. Well, you expect better, really, from a player who's been at the very highest level. 37 now, Mark Hughes, but he lost his composure there. Perhaps that he was dispossessed so easily there by Darryl Russell. And he swept out a foot and an arm. Russell was down, and Hughes was off. Huge clearance by Marshall. Chases on here for Coote. And Filan had to head clear, only as far as Russell though. McAteer. Here's Bent. Janssen just ahead of him, still with Bent. And Bent is in here, there's a great chance for Bent, and that's the equalising goal! What an impressive finish by Marcus Bent. Deflected wide. Norwich had the corner, it was Fleming who was steaming in then. Mulrine with a corner, and that was a good header, and it was Hignett on the goal line who got it to safety. Is done. Ostenstad. It's a good cross. Bent. Fine save by Andy Marshall. Another magnificent stop by the Norwich City goalkeeper. Andy Marshall really has been in outstanding form for Norwich this season. Dalglish and Mackay both inside the 6-yard area. Here is Dalglish, and Norwich have scrambled the ball in. It's been ruled out. It's been ruled out for offside. The joy of Craig Fleming and also Malky Mackay is short-lived. Into stoppage time at the end of the second half. Dalglish with the back heel, but it won't count. It stays 1-1.
The youngsters in the football club, Llewellyn, Marshall, Russell, Mulrine, they've been terrific since we've taken over, and the energy those lads have put out today and the performance has been top class. So I can only thank them for what they've done for me, and they've got to keep it going for themselves.
2 days later came confirmation that Worthington was to get the full backing of the board, along with his assistants, the ex-Norwich player and Liverpool coach Doug Livermore and Steve Foley. All were given 2.5-year contracts.
Nigel, Doug and Steve handled the situation extremely well. Coming off a run of defeats, it wasn't easy, and everybody can see that the team spirit's there on the pitch.
Me standing here today in this interview, Doug Livermore, Steve Foley, the players have got us this position. They have been outstanding in the last month. The commitment, their attitude and their work rate has been top class, and I can't say enough thank yous to them.
The first task for the new manager, an FA Cup third-round match at his old club, Sheffield Wednesday. It didn't start well, Matthew Hamshaw heading the Owls ahead. But City looked in determined and resourceful move, although their enterprising play was thwarted by an outstanding performance from the Wednesday keeper Kevin Pressman. And the Canaries were frustrated too by some errant finishing and the home side's woodwork. Ewan Roberts lobbed over the top just when it seemed City must level. Adrian Coote was a shade unfortunate to see his shot touch the top of the Wednesday crossbar. When Roberts finally breached the home side's defence at Hillsborough, scoring with a close-range effort to make it 1-all, it seemed a replay was the very least the visiting supporters might expect. Instead, an unexpected bad moment for Andy Marshall allowed the Sheffield side to sneak through to the fourth-round draw. Gerald Seabon's shot squeezing past the City keeper. Coote had still one more opportunity to force a second match. His late effort was just wide. City's FA Cup dream ended at the first hurdle for another year. And that cup exit was followed by the toughest of away fixtures, a trip to the league leaders Fulham at Craven Cottage. A solo effort from Louis Saha gave the Londoners an early advantage. And they kept their almost impeccable home record going with a late goal from Louis Boa-Morte, who broke clear before shooting wide of Andy Marshall. 2-0 defeat, but City by no means outclassed by the champions-elect. Events off the field dominated briefly, with the chairman Bob Cooper facing a vote of no confidence. But with the backing of the majority shareholder Delia Smith, Mr Cooper got overwhelming support at the annual general meeting.
Oh, I can't tell you. I can't tell you what the sense of relief is, because I really think if that vote had gone the wrong way, it would have been very destructive. It would have been very hard for the board members and the chairman to actually pick up the pieces. I don't know what would have happened.
Next, a chance to complete the double over another London club. Queen's Park Rangers, the visitors to Carrow Road. And a memorable match for the former Cambridge United striker Zima Abbey. He volleyed home what proved to be the winning goal in an otherwise fairly unexceptional game. 3 vital points though, and a big confidence booster for Abbey himself.
There was a bit of head tennis in the box, so I thought I'd just step out, let Big Ewan and Marshy fight for the ball. And as I stepped off, Robbo got the final touch before it come to me. And there was just one thing in my mind, just to put the ball in the back of the net, and obviously I'd done that, and I was delighted. I'd wheeled away, celebrating. It's a very proud moment for me, obviously, coming to the club. When you sign for your new team, the first thing you want to do as a striker is to basically break a duck. It's come after 3 starts, which I'm delighted with. And yeah, we've got the 3 points as well, so it's even bigger bonus for me.
2 days later, and a big bonus too for one of Norwich City's most loyal servants. Tim Shepherd, club physiotherapist for more than 20 years, was given a massive testimonial match against Celtic, runaway leaders of the Scottish Premier League under Martin O'Neill, the former Norwich City player and manager. But the stars were not all on the Scottish side, with a host of former Canary favourites returning to grace the Carrow Road pitch once again. Tim was later to announce that he would be leaving the Canaries at the end of the season to set up in private practice and get more chance to spend time with his family. So this was a fitting tribute to the immensely likeable physio. The game turned out to be a memorable one in every way.
Oh, determined play by Adrian Coote. There's a great chance here for Norwich and an opening goal for Norwich. Ramon Vega was the player caught in possession, and Adrian Coote has scored what you could count as his first senior goal here at Carrow Road. Vega just a bit too casual. Coote got a foot in, and that was a good finish. Difficult angle for him, but he was strong enough to drive his shot across Douglas. Norwich City in front. John Robertson there with Martin O'Neill, and just behind Steve Walford, who is another former Norwich player and Norwich coach. Bloomfield. Now Notman. Nice turn that by Notman. And McVeigh. 2 for Norwich. The youngsters have been given their chance, and they're taking their chance. 10 minutes of the second half gone, and Norwich City double their lead. Neatly worked goal. Bloomfield, then Notman. And a forceful run by McVeigh, who just did enough to keep his eye on the ball and to keep his composure and to beat Gould. Celtic throw. Larsson! Oh, fantastic goal by Henrik Larsson. And in some ways it's no more than you would expect. 29 he's got this season. That was an impossible angle for him, but what a finish that was. Magnificent goal by Henrik Larsson. Back comes Celtic again. Dervelt with a strong challenge. And Norwich guilty of giving the ball away, and that's presented Celtic with the chance to score again and to grab their equalising goal. Dervelt in a bit of a muddle there with Walsh. Anselan couldn't make the challenge, and Celtic have drawn level. Mark Birchall, the goal scorer for Celtic. Here comes Celtic again. Fine save by Brian Gunn. Gunn is back, says the logo on the back of his shirt. It was a good effort. It was an equally good shot. Oh, and Brian Gunn's been beaten this time. He won't be happy with that. Beaten at the near post. 3-2 to Celtic. Into the second minute of stoppage time, and back comes Celtic again. It's 3 against 1 here. They're queuing up now, Celtic. Birchall with a cross, and surely this will settle it. It has settled it. It's 4-2 to Celtic.
Yes, victory then for Celtic, who were to go on to claim the Scottish title at a canter. But City directors and fans had enjoyed an enthralling match and a welcome diversion from the trials and tribulations of Division 1 football. It was also a great chance for the main men of the night, Tim Shepherd and Martin O'Neill, to renew old acquaintances.
I think it was a great evening, and I'm delighted that everybody came out and in great support of Tim. He's been a fantastic stalwart here now for 20 odd years. He's a very, very good physiotherapist. Celtic's fans did us all proud, really, magnificent. But obviously the Norwich have hold him in great esteem. So great for us in terms of the workout. Also great for Norwich, who played very well.
And Tim, what about the atmosphere tonight? You couldn't have anticipated any better than that.
No, it was marvellous. I mean, I've heard all about Celtic's fan base, and they didn't let us down. I thought their performance was matched by the players.
And was the night what you expected?
Yes, I think so. Only because really I knew what support they would bring, and I'm eternally grateful for Martin to bringing the team here, and it was reflected by the fans and the Norwich people as well. I thought it was, and obviously I think the most important people in football are the players.
So the Canaries went into their next home game with Graham Taylor's Watford side in good spirits. No one more so than the highly rated defender Darren Kenton, who had just signed a new 2.5-year contract to end several weeks of speculation about his future. The result showed he made the right decision.
Good cross by Moody. Helgeson! Terrific save by Andy Marshall. Magnificent stop by the Norwich City goalkeeper. Kenton's cross in. Nice touch by Ewan Roberts. Now Abbey wasn't too far away. Seemed to scoop the shot out from underneath his feet then. But it was a good effort by Zima Abbey, who scored his first goal for Norwich last Saturday in the 1-0 win here against Queen's Park Rangers. Norwich trying to put a bit of pressure on Chamberlain, the goalkeeper. 3 inside the 6-yard area. Mackay up there, Kenton up, and Mackay again. It's been cleared off the goal line. Llewellyn with the throw. Coop with the header on. Here's Abbey. It was a good attempt, and it was an equally good save by Alec Chamberlain. Didn't appear to be anything on there at all for Zima Abbey. But he was just able to escape from his marker for a moment. Coop with the header on. It was a clever shot, and it was a fine save by Alec Chamberlain. Now Cox, and a goal for Watford. It's been scored by Helgeson. Watford playing with far more purpose at the start of the second half, and now they've been rewarded with a goal. Run by Abbey towards Kenton. 4 up here for Norwich. Terrific run by Kenton. Fine save by Chamberlain. Terrific stop, not once but twice there by Alec Chamberlain, who did well to recover and get the second effort away from Ewan Roberts. Magnificent run forward by Darren Kenton. Did well to cut inside Ward and to deliver the shot, which was well dealt with there by Chamberlain. And Llewellyn has gone down under the weight of the challenge from Gifton Noel Williams. And Noel Williams, who's been cautioned already, could well be on his way to the dressing room. Watford players are protesting, and he's already making his way to the dressing room. The referee just about to raise the red card, but having been cautioned in the first half, Gifton Noel Williams knew that the match official had no alternative then. Watford down to 10 men. Llewellyn's cross, McVeigh, and now Abbey, chance for Abbey. He whacked his shot against the underside of the crossbar. Watford living very dangerously, but they are holding on. In by Mackay. Abbey with the header on. Nidegard! Norwich are level. And it's a first goal for the club for Stijn Nidegard. Intelligent work by Abbey, and Nidegard wasn't picked up. That was a good finish too. Kenton, Jackson and Mackay all ready to make their move inside that Watford 6-yard area. Benatsara. And Chamberlain didn't get hold of the punch, and Norwich have got a second goal. It's Lee Marshall who's got it, and there are just 20 seconds of normal time remaining. But Norwich are in front, but they've left it desperately, desperately late. Chamberlain will be unhappy about his goalkeeping, and he wasn't able to get there when Lee Marshall volleyed the ball beyond him.
A tough assignment a week later, away to a Birmingham side who had just beaten Ipswich in their Worthington Cup semi-final. Brian Hughes' goal showed that the Brummies were still riding the crest of a wave. But the Canaries gave a good account of themselves, with Ewan Roberts and Zima Abbey promising to cement a dangerous front partnership. The tendency to give away penalty kicks returned, however, when Lee Marshall was adjudged to have handled the ball inside his own penalty area. And Darren Purse stepped up to convert, leaving the battling Canaries a mountain to climb. They almost did it too, Danish international Stijn Nidegard producing a perfect cross and Chris Llewellyn diving low to score with a brave header, giving the Birmingham fans an anxious last few minutes. The end result, though, was a 2-1 defeat. Following that, City embarked on a 4-match unbeaten run, which earned 8 valuable points, starting with this match against Crewe Alexandra at Carrow Road.
Rivers. Oh, trying to use his pace against Such, and has done well. Rivers twisting and turning and laying it for Zorvel, and he's found Rodney Jack, and Rodney Jack has scored! Street. May put his defence under pressure here, but he's done well. And Llewellyn skipped past 2 players here. Llewellyn with a chance to shoot. And out of nothing, Norwich City have an equaliser. Chris Llewellyn's 5th goal of the season, enough to steal a point. He managed to burst through 2 players, Zorvel and right left standing, and a rasping left foot shot across Bancoli.
City went to Selhurst Park looking for their 2nd victory in London, but after Mikel Forsell broke through to put Crystal Palace ahead, the Canaries were happy to gain a well-earned draw. It was midfielder Darrell Russell's shot which was deflected into the Palace net. Although it wasn't Russell's greatest afternoon, he was later to be sent off. The following home match against Stockport County was a sellout, and the biggest Carrow Road crowd of the season so far was treated to the biggest home win.
Now then, Vey just gets behind the Stockport presents. Into the path of Marshall, and that's pulled back for Zima Abbey. It was good, strong defending, but Llewellyn's there. And for the 2nd game in a row at Carrow Road, Llewellyn gets his name on the score sheet. Llewellyn's 6th goal of the season, and he did well to link up with the attack. It was McVeigh who sparked it all off. Good cross there by Marshall, and Zima Abbey tried to get in at the near post. Everyone sucked in at the near post apart from Chris Llewellyn. He was able to apply the finishing touch. And Mackay's done well. Now Russell and Zima Abbey and Ewan Roberts. McVeigh's made a great run towards the edge of the penalty area. He's not been picked up yet. Here's Abbey. And Marshall. Oh, and almost a mistake and a goal! Ewan Roberts makes it 2-0. Another defensive mistake has cost Stockport. And Ewan Roberts celebrates his first goal since Boxing Day, his 13th of the season. So a free kick to Norwich City, which Mackay will take. Aimed towards Zima Abbey, who wins the header, and Roberts, what a goal! Excellent goal by Ewan Roberts. But all the credit has to go to Zima Abbey because the flick on was perfection. And great awareness by Roberts. His second of the night, his 14th of the season, and Norwich's third. Nigel Worthington looking relatively content, and so he should be. 3 goals up in the first 38 minutes of this game. Good turn by Roberts. McVeigh. Search. Or McVeigh with a bit of space. And the wrong side of Nicholson. That's a great cross and a hat-trick for Ewan Roberts. It's 4-0 to Norwich City, and Ewan Roberts can celebrate a hat-trick.
It's been a long time coming, 3.5 years, and I've managed to get to 4 or 5 times, but never managed to get the final one. But as soon as Paul McVeigh beat his man in the second half and put the cross in, I knew that I was going to at least get my head onto it, and I was delighted to see it go in.
You got off to a decent start with Chris Llewellyn's goal, and you had Stockport stretched quite a few times in the first half.
Yeah, we did. We picked a bit of a different formation to what we usually do. We played Paul McVeigh just behind me and Zima, and he caused them no ends of problems. But as you say, you still got to score the goals, and we were so relieved to see Chris get an early goal. And you could see the lads then, pressure was off, we started to enjoy our football once again.
Captain Matt Jackson signed a new contract on the day City took on Wolves, but it was young striker Paul McVeigh who turned out to be the hero with the 4th-minute goal, his first for the club, which proved to be a match winner. But there could have been further goals for a City side who earned rich praise from manager Nigel Worthington. McVeigh saw another shot blocked, and it was a match which saw the Canaries at their sharpest at both ends of the field. Andy Marshall made one of his best instinctive saves of the season from Tony Dinning to ensure revenge for the mauling the Wolves had inflicted earlier at Molineux. Former Wanderers star Ewan Roberts would have loved to have got his name on the score sheet too. The crossbar denied him that privilege, but a 1-0 victory more than made up for any personal disappointment. Norwich hoped to build on their good run at Huddersfield, but instead a left-foot piledriver from Craig Armstrong sparked an unexpected reverse, and the first of a 4-match losing side completed a 2-0 scoreline with this close-range Delroy Facey. Manager Worthington said every player had had a bad day. Former City winger Ruel Fox returned to one of his happiest hunting grounds for the next match at Carrow Road, chasing West Bromwich Albion, managed by another ex-City player and manager, Gary Megson. It turned out to be something of a controversial match, and it resulted in the Canaries' first home defeat since Worthington had taken the reins.
Mackay and Roberts having a real old tussle, and Jason Roberts been allowed to go on, and the referee has seen the foul. And it's a penalty to West Brom. And eventually he got into the box and, well, looks as though he's trying to buy the foul, but he certainly succeeded. Just making sure that the ball is re-spotted properly. The referee just having a word with both Fox and Mackay as Hughes drags it into the middle. and makes it 1-0 to West Brom. Here's Roberts with a curler, great save! Andy Marshall hasn't had a lot to do in terms of save, but he was called into action there and produced a beauty. And now it's with Snakers and with Roberts and wide for Fox. And there's danger here for Norwich. They've got plenty back here, but it's a decent cross. And great save again by Andy Marshall. 2 saves in the space of 2 minutes by the former England under-21 keeper, and both times denying Jason Roberts. Darren Russell for Norwich. Up goes Forbes, and the ball may fall to McVeigh. Oh dear!
City expected another tough encounter in their next match against Watford at Vicarage Road. And despite going ahead through Adrian Forbes' impressive early header, that was precisely what they got. The Hornets hit back with a 4-goal salvo. A superb run and shot from Nordin Vuta, putting Graham Taylor's team back on terms. That was before Tommy Smith plotted City's downfall. He himself found the target to make it 2-1. Then set up Hyder Helgeson for goal number 3. By then, Watford were strolling through the City defence, just as they did when Alan Nielsen delighted home fans by securing a 4-1 winning scoreline. Nigel Worthington warned his players to expect a thorough examination from Preston at Carrow Road. North End certainly didn't let him down.
McVeigh. Now Llewellyn. Hoisted in early towards Ewan Roberts. A chance for Roberts! And Norwich City are ahead. The 16th goal of the season for Ewan Roberts. Norwich able to get the ball forward early. And Roberts able to oblige. Healy. Intelligent work by Healy there to pick out Edwards. 4 to aim at inside that Norwich penalty area. And there's the equalising goal. It's David Healy. Edwards. Great run again by Edwards, and he's delivered the cross. Brilliant save by Andy Marshall. That really was a fantastic stop by Marshall. He was going one way and then somehow twisted around. Russell has given the ball away unnecessarily there, and Andy Marshall has been spotted off his goal line. Oh, fantastic goal by Sean Gregan. Andy Marshall can't believe it. A stunning blow for Norwich at the start of the second half. A fantastic goal by the Preston North End skipper. One look up, he saw that Marshall was off his goal line. And how about that for accuracy? Marshall seemed to have done enough to recover the position and the situation, but that crept in right underneath the crossbar. He can't believe it.
My words are coming to fruition now, where we still need points. We need better performances of what we've had in the last 4 games. And as I say, if we can get back to the basics and get that commitment there again, which has gone missing for some reason or other, then we will be all right, but we still need points.
Ahead of the transfer deadline, Premiership Leicester City signed Lee Marshall in a deal worth £600,000. He quickly became a first-team regular. While Lee Marshall had gone, Adam Drury from Peterborough was one of a number of new arrivals at Carrow Road. Others included Gary Holt and the lone striker Paul Pescasolido, ahead of the home match against Lenny Lawrence's Grimsby team.
Only half cleared. Here's Forbes, and the shot was blocked into the path, and it's gone in! Ewan Roberts again! And Grimsby's defending really, really poor. The first clearance by Stuart Campbell went straight to Adrian Forbes. And as the ball just bounced around the penalty area, it was Ewan Roberts who swept the ball in, albeit with the help of the post. Groves is ball forward, looking for Jeffrey. He's done well. He's done very well. And that's a lovely cross towards the far post. There's a goal! Stuart Campbell has equalised for Grimsby. Roberts' flick on. And trouble here, because here's Llewellyn. A chance to beat Coyne. And off the line by Gallimore. McDermott was the one who was caught. And he was fortunate that Gallimore was there to clear the danger. Always a chance here now. Llewellyn with a second chance to score. This time he takes it. Excellent goal from Chris Llewellyn, his 7th of the season. And it was Ewan Roberts, the provider, threading it through. Grimsby square, and a fierce left-footed shot into the corner, making no mistake this time.
Chris, I'm delighted for him. He signed a new contract yesterday. He's a genuine boy. He's got the biggest heart in the world, and he'll give you everything he's got. And hopefully, between him and Robbo, that Welsh connection, that they can come up with more goals.
Chris Llewellyn signed a new 4-year contract the week before the trip to Gillingham, but no hint of celebration as Chris Hope's header sparked a 4-goal burst from the Kent side. A quick-fire hat-trick from Ife Onura followed, the first two from headers as the Norwich rearguard left young goalkeeper Robert Green, who was replacing the injured Andy Marshall, hopelessly exposed. Not the sort of game the youngster would have wanted ahead of what promised to be a crunch season. Onura's final goal was a tap-in, and it looked all over for the shell-shocked Canaries. What was to follow was an amazing comeback which almost brought them a point. First of all, Chris Llewellyn made his mark, nipping in smartly to take advantage of a poor pass and reduce the deficit to 3 goals. Then Darryl Russell produced one of those rasping drives of which he always looks capable. (4-2). And Llewellyn now relishing the job set up striker Ewan Roberts for goal number 3. However, despite their very best efforts, Norwich were just unable to complete the job and suffered a 4-3 reverse. Things started badly at Sheffield United 3 days later. Ewan Roberts doesn't score too many own goals, but this was one he'll definitely want to forget. But the manner of Norwich City's equaliser, left-foot effort from Darren Kenton, quickly erased the memory of that early shock as City earned a useful point at Bramall Lane. Even one of the misses of the season, a disappointing header from Chris Llewellyn, couldn't take the gloss off a good show against a side battling for a playoff place. A third successive away match produced an even better result up on Merseyside, where Tranmere Rovers threatened to take the initiative, but saw an early goal disallowed for an offside decision. And the Canaries took full advantage, Brian McGovern capping a good run with his first ever goal for the club. McGovern had come on as a late substitute for Adam Drury, and masterstroke that from the manager Nigel Worthington. Robert Green was again between the posts for City as they took on promotion-hunting Burnley at Carrow Road on Easter Monday, with Nigel Worthington calling on his side to put on a real show for the home fans. And for a while it seemed they'd do just that.
Now here's Motman. Still with Notman, he's got away from Smith. There's a great chance for Alex Notman. Can he finish? Yes, he can! Alex Notman's first goal for Norwich City. It's been a long time coming. This is his 14th appearance for the club. But what a good finish it was. Pace and strength there to get away from both Armstrong and Smith. And then to get around the goalkeeper and to apply the finish. Great start for Norwich. Perfect start for Alex Notman, restored to the starting lineup ahead of Paul Pesky-Salido. Mackay with more. Good play by Malky Mackay. Russell's passes a wayward one though, and Norwich could be punished here. Ball. Oh, and it's gone straight through the goalkeeper's fingertips. Kevin Ball has got the equalising goal for Burnley. There was plenty of sting in the shot. It looked to be a comfortable save for Green, and somehow the ball just squirmed out of his reach. Ryan across to take the corner kick for Norwich. Fleming has made his move, and here's Mackay! Off the goal line by Paul Smith. And in the end, Mikopoulos glad to make the save from Mulrine. Terrific free header though by Malky Mackay. Paul Smith well placed on the post. Now Notman brought down, penalty. Well, seconds after saving Burnley with a goal line clearance, Paul Smith has given away the penalty, which now gives Norwich the chance to go back in front. It's Roberts, and it's 2-1 Norwich. Ewan Roberts with his 18th goal of the season, just one short of last season's total. Wasn't the best of penalties, it was perhaps a bit too close to the goalkeeper, but he just squeezed the ball in and Norwich City are back in front. Traffic run there by Moore. Well, how on earth did that stay out? It bobbled back off Drury straight to Taylor. Taylor did well to steer the ball towards the target. There's further problems here for Norwich. And Gareth Taylor is not to be denied. Now Briscoe. Neatly done that by Weller. And Weller has the chance here. Well, he didn't get the chance in the end, but Ian Moore did.
Victory at Bolton's Reebok Stadium would have guaranteed safety, but Dean Holsworth caught everyone napping with his quickly taken free kick. A 1-0 win for the Wanderers meant City followers would have to wait just a little longer before they could sleep easily. Safety was finally achieved the following Saturday, and Sheffield Wednesday were the visitors to Carrow Road for the final home game of the season, before which the goalkeeper Andy Marshall received his award as Player of the Season. It was to prove a good send-off before the summer break as City gave supporters the victory to remember.
Fleming this time has made a run to the near post. Mackay up, and now Malky Mackay has put Norwich City ahead. Only his second goal of the season, and ironically his second goal against Sheffield Wednesday. Scored against them in the FA Cup, and now he's put Norwich in front. Another deep Mulrine corner, and it was Mackay there who got up above Westwood. Wednesday had the goal line guarded, but they couldn't keep out the header from Malky Mackay. Sheffield Wednesday have several opportunities already from free kicks from this sort of range and have achieved very little with them. That's a much better effort. That's a terrific stop by Marshall, the Norwich City Player of the Year. Magnificent drive it was by Ian Hendon, and what a fine stop by Marshall.
It certainly couldn't be described as a classic season for the Norwich fans. But their appreciation for a job well done at the end of the day is very apparent as they gave their side an end-of-season ovation for them to remember through the summer. All of the fans and the players themselves will no doubt be hoping for more positive results in the year ahead, as indeed certainly will the City manager Nigel Worthington.
Some of the season has been disappointing. There's been a lot of upheaval and goings on within the club during the past 12 months. I think where we picked it up, to gain 33 points, getting confidence back, getting players back on side, getting them to perform, I think we've done a good job.
With nothing riding on the result, the final game at Wimbledon was very much an end-of-season affair. Darryl Russell saw a shot fly a shade too high. Big things will be expected of him during the club's centenary season. Andy Marshall produced another display to show that he would be a very hard act to follow in the Canary goal. Zima Abbey raced clear only to put his final shot just wide of the mark. He too will need to establish himself as a first-team regular. And Russell missed another reasonable chance after Steen Nedergaard had seen his original shot saved. And with a win and a draw in the final two matches, hopes were high of an upturn in fortunes during the 2001-2002 campaign.